Yo, what is up, Beast? And welcome back to another Sports Beast prediction. The predictions last week were kind of trash. I think I went like 8-6. So let's do a little better this week. Try to get those numbers up. We are into week 7, almost halfway through the regular season. So let's just take a quick look at my early game predictions. No matter how banged up this team looks right now, OBJ who can't catch, Jarvis Landry, he is coming back. No Baker. They do have a decent backup. I'm still taking the Browns over Denver. This game still makes me a little bit nervous. Bengals are finally looking good. They got a good quarterback with them. But it's the Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews connection that puts this Ravens team over the top for me. And like I said, this Washington defense just isn't what my brother had tried to convince me that they are. And on the other side, it's still the Packers, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams. They're going to get the win here. So pretty much Miami's got too much going against them, whereas the Falcons are starting to get some of theirs back. I got to take the Falcons to get the win on the road. New England isn't as bad as I expected them to be, and overall, they're still playing the Jets. Simply got to take Carolina to get the win on the road here. I don't think Daniel Jones does enough to get the job done against this defense. Definitely tune into this one because this is going to be a tight game in which I think KC can still win. Now let's go ahead and jump right into the later games and get these Sunday predictions knocked out. Late games, Sunday, October 24th. First matchup we have is Detroit Lions at Los Angeles Rams. Pretty simple. Just look at their records. This one should be an easy prediction for everybody. But both quarterbacks are coming in and playing their old teams. Stafford really isn't looking to prove anything here because he's been doing pretty well. Goff, on the other hand, he hasn't won a game yet. And I'm sure he would love to get the win. I don't think he will, but I'm sure he would love it. Lions are ranked mid-20s in about every category: offense, defense, passing, and rushing. Lions are allowing about 270 passing yards and 130 rushing. The rush yards allowed isn't really going to play a huge part in this one, simply because the Rams are more of a pass-heavy offense. And with the weapons that they do have, that Stafford has, you can see why. The main one being Cooper Kupp. Tied for first in receptions, first in targets with 68, second in receiving yards with 653, leading the league with 7 receiving touchdowns, and third in yards after the catch with 265. So to even have a slight chance to win this game, Detroit has got to get pressure on Stafford. They have to try to slow down Cooper Kupp, and they have to use their run game effectively, which they don't do that often. For those reasons, I'm saying Rams get the win, making their record 6-1. Next up, we got Philadelphia Eagles at Las Vegas Raiders. This is going to be the 4:05 game to watch because we're already assuming the outcome of the other one. The run game on both sides of the ball here is going to be little to none. Both teams are going to try. Both teams aren't really going to do well at it. So looking at offenses individually, Carr, for me, is the better of the two quarterbacks. He is on pace to get over 5,500 passing yards this season. With Henry Ruggs, Hunter Renfrow, and Darren Waller, the Raiders, I believe, have the better receiving core. Now let's talk defense. Max Crosby has 33 quarterback pressures, 16 tackles, and 4 tackles for a loss. I do think this is a matchup that Crosby, where he kind of puts on a show. Hopefully the Raiders D can make Hurts uncomfortable in the pocket, causing him to scramble and make this team kind of one-dimensional. And I'm already switching my original pick, and I'm taking the Raiders to come out on top here. This matchup, Houston Texans at Arizona Cardinals. This one's going to be a real quick one. The Cardinals have been great so far. I had predicted them to win their division before the season had started. And they've even been doing a little bit better than I predicted them to. Houston is also on par for what I expected them to do. After looking at their schedule in the beginning, I really looked at them, and I didn't think, because of the situation that they were in this year, that there was a team that they could actually beat. But I did reluctantly give them one win, and they have already gotten that. So they really have met my requirement already. So basically, in a nutshell, Cardinals good, Houston bad. Cardinals get the win here, continuing to stay undefeated. We slide over here. Chicago Bears at Tampa Bay. Both of these teams are a little banged up. Bucks are going to be without AB, Levante David, and Richard Sherman. Also, they have O.J. Howard and JPP, both questionable. Bears will be without Jimmy Graham, Akeem Hicks, and Caleb Johnson, with Nichols and Robinson questionable for this game. For the Bears, it's simply put, if Robinson does not play, they are screwed. But if you're the Bucks, I mean, you already have Tom Brady, so you already have a leg up in this matchup here. Brady doesn't need good receivers like AB to make them stand out and look like stars. He can take garbage receivers and pretty much bend them to his will, and he will still make them look incredible. And we already know that the Bucks don't really rely on their run game too much. They only average about 85 yards per 85 rush yards, per game. And I'm going to circle Tampa Bay, obviously, and here's why. Tom Brady had more pass yards this year. Has more pass yards this year than he's had in previous years through 6 games where he's won MVP. Basically saying he's won MVP in the past, and through 6 games this year, he's doing better. The Bucks defense has allowed fewer and fewer pass yards in these last 4 games. So basically, they started out with, I think, 300 and some pass yards, and last week they allowed Philly to get like 113. And lastly, their defense has allowed the fewest rush yards in the NFL through 6 games. It's Tom Brady. They have weapons. They're going to go crazy. This one should be the blowout. In your last Sunday matchup, Indianapolis Colts at San Francisco 49ers. Now, I've seen other people do predictions, and they're quick to say that Jimmy G is coming back, but he's still banged up. So you have to take the Colts in kind of a close one on this one. I'm not convinced it's just that simple. Yes, Jimmy G is back from injury, and yes, he hasn't been doing as well as previous years. But you have to take a look at the other side of the ball. Carson Wentz, probably the most injury-prone quarterback in this league. Paris Campbell just had surgery, I think at the beginning of the week. He's on IR. T.Y. Hilton listed as out due to a quad issue. I think the Colts have an above average depth at running back, but they're completely underutilized. Both rushing sides of this ball will be, for lack of better words, unexciting. So what it really comes down to for me is I believe the Colts utilize their tight ends better, and their receivers are capable enough to stand up to a good defense like this and still make good plays. So I'm taking the Colts with what little confidence I do have in them. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching another Sports Beast prediction. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. Comment down below who you think is going to win these matchups, and subscribe if you like these predictions. It would help out a lot. Again, my name is Corey with Sports Beast, and I'll see you on the next one.